Hey Eagle fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Philadelphia Eagles Now, and today we're going to go ahead and answer all of your guys' mailbag questions as submitted on a previous video. I believe it was the Monday video. A lot of really good questions. We'll go ahead and jump right in. Again, didn't get to every single one, but I got to as many of the really good ones as I possibly could. Nico asks, hashtag Eagles, what will the Eagles receiving core look like? Who will start? So, here are my 4 projected starters, right? You're assuming you go 4 wide. Here are the 4 that I would put in right there. Note, Alshon Jeffrey is not on this list because I'm assuming he's going to be cut or not healthy enough for week 1. Well, that's kind of a whole debate that's going on right now. Projected starting 4. Jackson 1, Reagor 2, Ward 3, Goodwin is there at 4, but I would swap Goodwin for Whiteside if you wanted to get a little more height instead of speed. But I'll say it again, Jackson, Reagor, Ward, Goodwin. Those are at least the 4 best wide receivers on this football team. Now maybe you want to mix and move people around and put a Whiteside in the slot or move Hightower out there or Watkins, whatever you want to do. It's fine because they're not just going to play 4 receivers. They'll play everybody. But those are my projected starting 4 guys, and those, to me, are the best 4 wide receivers on this football team. Backups, of course, are Whiteside, Hightower, Watkins, Shelton Gibson, Robert Davis. Those are going to be the main backups who I think will make the football team. Shelton Gibson, we'll have to wait and see. But that's probably how it is going to look. A lot better than where it was last year. A lot better than what I think a lot of people were hoping for this offseason. Not the best wide receiver core in the entire NFL, but very, very good overall. Again, this is assuming Alshon gets cut. If he does not, if he actually wants to be an Eagle and comes out and verbally, says he's behind Carson Wentz and wants to be a good teammate, then throw him in there. He's wide receiver number 2 if he were to be there. I'm just going to have to wait and see what happens with Alshon Jeffrey. All right, question. Best receiver on the Eagles team. Who is it? Like the overall best receiver on the Eagles. Who is it right now? It hopefully will be Deshaun Jackson. The question is going to be, will he be healthy the entire 2016 season? That always seems to be the question with Deshaun Jackson. Let me know who you guys think it is down below. Also, subscribe to Philadelphia Eagles Now. That way I can keep doing more mailbags. The more subscriptions we have, the more mailbags I can keep doing. And the mailbags are kind of a fan favorite. You guys like me answering your questions. So subscribe down below as we approach 11,000 subs here on Philadelphia Eagles Now. All right, more questions here. Let's see. Brett Long asks, when healthy, where would you rank the Eagles' offense? Okay, so it's actually funny because Mitch over at our main Chat Sports channel went ahead and released his top 10 offenses in the National Football League. I believe he dropped it today. I got a little, sneak preview of what it's going to look like, so you can go ahead and check that video out on our main channel, chatsports.com. Just YouTube search, chatsports.com. And his top 10 are as follows. Chiefs 1, Ravens 2, Saints 3, Cowboys 4, Bucks 5, Browns 6, Niners 7, Cardinals 8, Packers are 9, and Titans are there at 10. So, Mitch does not have him inside the top 10. Now, I went ahead and asked Mitch, I said, Mitch, where would you put Philadelphia in your rankings? And he said 13 or 14, which to me is like, man, I don't know about that. It's hard for me to look at the Eagles offense and say, oh, this is definitely a top 10 offense. Now, it has top 10 qualities, very good offensive line, obviously a great quarterback, a great running back, and a much better receiving core, but they're not better than the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Saints. They're not better than the Bucks, the Browns, the 49ers, the Cardinals. I would argue, though, the Cowboys are not the 4th best offense in the National Football League. Now, it might look like it is, but the offense is run through the quarterback, and Dak Prescott's the quarterback, and that should immediately get them out of the top 4. I don't want to see where Mitch gets his idea of the Cowboys being in the top 4. And really, I get the Cardinals, but again, it's Kyler Murray at quarterback, who I think is going to have a good year, but we don't know. We're talking about Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott versus Carson Wentz, who was a much better quarterback than both of them last year with way worse receivers. So it's an interesting top 10. Here's what you do. I disagree with this. You probably disagree with this as an Eagles fan. Go yell at Mitch on Twitter. Here's his Twitter handle. I'll go ahead and sick the Eagle employees onto Mitch's Twitter, or the Eagle fans onto Mitch's Twitter account right now. He'll be fine with it. Be nice, but go ahead and tweet at him and shout your anger at Mitchell Renz. 365 is the place to do it. You see that there on your screen. Go yell at him right now. And if you disagree and think the Eagles do have a top 10 offense, then give this video a thumbs up right now. They might not be in the top 10. There are a lot of good offenses, but they're a lot better than the Cowboys, the Packers, the Titans. I mean, there's some good offenses, but we're talking about quarterbacks here. Ryan Tannehill better than Carson Wentz? That's an interesting debate. Like this video if you guys think the Eagles have a top 10 offense. Dylan Duncan asks, how much money do you think the Eagles will pay for a veteran running back, assuming we get one? Okay, we talked about veteran running backs every single hour here on Philadelphia Eagles Now, it seems like, because that's one of the few news in terms of offseason additions that are still happening in Philadelphia. So I decided to go ahead and predict what the LeSean McCoy contract would look like or the Devontae Freeman contract would look like. But assuming it's McCoy, here is my best guess. I looked at all the running backs, and I found an older one who didn't produce a lot last year, and this is what I found. Frank Gore. 1-year deal signed with the Jets, is going to make $1.05 million. Now, Frank Gore's a lot older than LeSean McCoy, and a lot more, I mean, he's one of the top running backs in NFL history in terms of total yardage, so the pedigree's a little bit better as well. But you look at the stats last year, Gore was better than LeSean McCoy. He played more, was more healthy. 166 carries, 600 yards, and 2 touchdowns versus 101 carries, 465 yards, and 4 touchdowns by McCoy. Remember, McCoy, healthy scratch, and Super Bowl 54. So with that being said, then you would probably look at the Frank Gore contract as being a very good blueprint for what you would pay LeSean McCoy. There's no way you would sign LeSean McCoy to a similar contract to what the Chiefs signed him to last season, where they gave him 1 year and $4 million. No way. He's not worth that much money. I mean, $4 million for a guy who did nothing last year. They severely overpaid Shady. So if you were to go out and get LeSean McCoy, then it's going to be a 1 year and it's going to be less than $2 million. I think the Frank Gore contract, again, $1.05 million, makes a lot of sense because we just don't expect a lot from LeSean McCoy at this point in his career. Final question. I promise, this will be the final question on Philadelphia Eagles now regarding LeSean McCoy until they actually sign him. Very simple. Sign Shady, yes or no? Yes down below, no down below. Why? And whatever you want to put, yes or no on LeSean McCoy. I want the definitive final answer from all the Eagle fans down below in the comments section. Speaking of that, we got a sale right now on some really cool t-shirts that I think apply very well to what's going on in our society. They are the Stronger Together collection that we have right now at chatsports.com/PhillyStrong. All benefits from these go to coronavirus and COVID-19 relief. So the NFL gets no profit from the sales of these shirts right now. So there's shirts, there's hoodies, there's men's and women's t-shirts. It's all there. You see on your screen right now, chatsports.com/PhillyStrong for a great, again, coronavirus relief, a great fund overall. So if you want to spend your money and not only get something out of it, and also, I guess, help out the fund relief, this is the place to do it. chatsports.com/PhillyStrong. Sean asks, let's see, is Howie done spending, or do you see 1 or 2 more big moves before the season starts? I think he's done spending, and I would not consider a LeSean McCoy signing being a big move. Like, there just aren't a lot of big moves out there to go ahead and make unless you wanted to do some mega massive shakeup trade, but it's just not going to happen. Your 4 biggest offseason additions, in my opinion, are as follows: Slay, Reagor, Hargrave, and Goodwin being number 4, because the Eagles did a lot this offseason. But despite my, I guess, distrust in Marquise Goodwin, it could still turn out to be one of the top 4 moves that they did. The problem right now with Philadelphia is not that they don't want to go get more good players. They want to get as many good players as possible. The problem is the 2021 cap situation, which a lot of you guys have asked me about. It doesn't look good for Philadelphia. In fact, they are the worst cap situation out of any team in the National Football League by far. Look at this. Here are the 4 worst 2021 cap situations according to overthecap.com. The Texans have $15 million next year. The Falcons are $8 million in the hole. The Saints are $36 million in the hole. And the Eagles are $51 million over the cap going into the 2021 season. Now, that can be shrunk pretty easily. They're not going to, be in dire need. They don't have to trade everybody, but the Eagles are going to have to be very creative next offseason in terms of how they maneuver players, trade players, cut players, restructure contracts. They are in the hole right now, so going and spending big on another either free agent or trading for somebody who has a massive contract that goes for years and years, it's just tough to do right now. This is why I think Philadelphia is probably done with the majority of their offseason moves, unless it's like a 1 year, again, $1.05 million deal for LeSean McCoy. Brian Nicole asked, the Eagles are the fastest team in the league. I don't know. I guess we're talking more offense, right? Because defense, well, what's really speed on defense? There are faster defenses, I think. I think short answer is probably yes. There are other fast teams. You look at a team like the Texans and Will Fuller are fast. Obviously, the Chiefs and Tyreek Hill are fast. But the Eagles only have speed at wide receiver. If you take Alshon Jeffrey out of there, then it's just Whiteside is the slow one, and the rest are all fast. So I guess, sure. I mean, do you have to be the fastest? No, I think that they're pretty fast. I think they'll be fine. Kristen Stewart, think Quez Watkins and John Hightower will do anything for our team this year? It's a very good and a very well-worded question, Christian, because you could have asked, what will we get from Watkins and Hightower? How many catches will they have? But you said, will we get anything from them? And that's how you look at late-round draft picks, especially wide receivers. Now, the stats would show that they are very capable and competent wide receivers. Watkins last year, 64 catches, had 1,000 yards, and Hightower was just a couple of catches really away from 1,000 yards. The stats would say, oh, great. But it's Quez Watkins from Southern Miss, so the competition there, and then Boise State, the competition in the Mountain West. So they're not playing against top-tier talent. So we don't know what we have in these 2 wide receivers. Now, we hope that they can turn out to be great. I mean, they're big, they're fast, they're everything you would think in a prototypical wide receiver. We've just not seen them up against good competition. So either they're fully capable and are going to ball out and be absolute steals for Philadelphia. Or, like you mentioned, they're not going to do anything for our team because they haven't played against good cornerbacks in the National Football League type cornerbacks. They'll struggle, and of course, we won't have wasted much because they were late round draft picks. So I hope that they're good. You just don't know. And there are other receivers like Reagor and Goodwin and Jackson who are going to obviously have a lot more better chances to make the team, or not make the team, but play a lot in terms of starting for the team. I hope that Watkins and Hightower are great. That's why they took 2 wide receivers late in the NFL draft in order to maximize their chances to be great. There's just really no guarantee. I'll put the over-under at 3. What do you guys think? Individually, 3 touchdowns for Watkins, 3 touchdowns for Hightower, over-under. If it's the over, the Eagles are going to be very good this year. If it's the under, then it's kind of like, well, what'd you expect from a 6th round, 7th round wide receiver overall? We'll do 2 more here. Let's see. Random Weekday Projects asks, who do you think will be the most impactful player that we've picked up so far? It's easy for me. It's going to be Darius Slay. Not even close. I mean, Darius Slay is going to be massive for Philadelphia. The Eagles have not had a true shutdown corner in a very, very long time. The last time they actually got a shutdown corner who turned out to be as good as advertised was Asante Samuel, who's one of the best shutdown corners ever in the National Football League, despite what many people will try and tell you. The Eagles got Darius Slay for nothing. A 3rd and a 5th round draft pick for one of the best cornerbacks in the league is stealing. It's cheap. I mean, that's as good as it gets. That's the best move that they have made overall for a guy that has not only dominated at his position, but dominated wide receivers the Eagles will face. Look at this matchup. Last year, Amari Cooper versus the Detroit Lions, 2019. They basically, again, last year, had Darius Slay shadowing Amari Cooper the entire time. Remember, Amari Cooper has torched Eagle quarterbacks in the past. Cooper versus the Lions, 3 catches, 38 yards, 0 touchdowns. If Darius Slay can do that against Amari Cooper twice a year, you're beating the Cowboys twice, because that's Dak Prescott's favorite target. They've always done a good job stopping Zeke. If you stop Amari Cooper, boom, you're beating the Dallas Cowboys twice in 2020, and that's, of course, why they went out, in my opinion, and got Darius Slay. That's my biggest offseason addition. Who do you guys think your biggest offseason addition is? Is it Slay? Let me know down below. If it's someone else like Hargrave, who's still great, let me know down below as well. Wes Grant will sum it all up. Do you think we need another corner to lock up the secondary? Speaking of Darius Slay, no, I don't think so, because you can only have so many cornerbacks on the field at one time. I think they're great again with Slay. I think Maddox will be the cornerback opposite of him, and I think Sidney Jones will play in the slot. And at the same time, you have Rasul Douglas backing it up, who has been a roller coaster, but has had some highs and some lows at the cornerback spot. I think they're going to be fine. They do not need to add anybody else. McLeod and Mills will be your secondary guys. I think the Eagles are gearing up to have a top 15 secondary in the NFL. It's not going to be top 5. It's not going to be, the first or number 1 best secondary, but I think they're going to be pretty darn good this year. So, no, I think we're good at corner. I trust Maddox. I think Maddox has done some really good things, and I think Sidney Jones, hopefully, has had a good offseason and can play very well at the same time. There you go. All the time we have for today here on your guys' Philadelphia Eagles mailbag video. Probably do one more tomorrow, so if your question wasn't answered today, stay tuned for tomorrow as well. For Chat Sports, I'm Thomas Mott, signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day.